know I love to film these. I just keep filming them right off the bat. January, I told myself was going to be my month to like finally start doing my girl talk videos with you guys again. I want to do at least once a week this kind of video, so feel free to leave any topics below in the comment section and let me know what you guys want to hear about, because I like talking. It's my favorite thing to do. It's my hobby, it's my job, it's my life. Love to talk. I love to just and I've just been minding my business lately, like staying out of drama, not having any conflict with anybody, so my mouth has just been shut. Please give me a reason to speak. Thank you. So today we're going to be talking about peer pressure, because I feel like this is something that everybody goes through, whether you're an adult, a teenager, in middle school, a child. Everybody goes through peer pressure, whether it's, hey, jump off of that at like 7 years old, and then you break your arm and you're like, oh, I didn't mean to do it, they told me to do it. I'm going to talk about everything I gotta talk about that has to do with peer pressure. So hopefully this video gives you some sort of message and you learn from it. I'm 21 years old. I'm gonna be 22 this year, so I've been through quite a few things in the past couple of years of my life, or better yet, should I say my entire life has just been a mess. So I got everything to just spill right now for you guys. So before I even get started with this, I'm just gonna address that falling for peer pressure is completely normal. And I know like sometimes like we do things that we didn't want to do, but at the end of the day, don't beat yourself up about it, because everybody makes mistakes and everybody does things that they didn't really want to do, and we have a little regrets. Just take everything that you've ever done that you do regret and try to see it more as a lesson, because at the end of the day, you cannot go back. You can't reverse time and pretend that that never happened. You can't pretend that whatever you've done hasn't affected you in some way. You just gotta learn to accept what you went through and take it as a lesson, whether it be negative or positive, and grow from it. That's basically our purpose of life and living, is just to like grow and build. So don't beat yourself up over something that you've done in the past that it wasn't really your decision. I mean, it was. At the end of the day, it's your decision. You're the one that actually did it, but it's something that you didn't really want to do, but you did it anyway. So like I said, let's just get into the video, but don't regret what you did, because I feel like I definitely suffered a lot from that. I am going to be talking about the first time that I got peer pressured into smoking, but I am not trying to bash marijuana at all, so I hope nobody thinks that I'm trying to like talk about smoking like it's a super negative thing, because at the end of the day, you guys are going to do whatever the hell you want to do. My demographic is like, you guys, like at least half of you are between 18 to 24, so at this rate, y'all are grown. Like my subscribers have really grown with me, which is so crazy to me that so many of you have been watching me since I was 15, and you were 15, and now girl, we can drink now. So like it's just so crazy, but most of y'all are grown, so I'm not about to even put like too much of a disclaimer, because I know like it's 2018 and like half the world smokes weed now, and like I get it, but not everybody does. To a lot of people, it's still not accepted. Into a lot of places, it's still illegal. So I'm not trying to like bash it, but you can see what I'm trying to get at, because now in like 2018, it's a lot more accepted to be smoking and like all of that. But in like 2012, 2013, when I was in school, when I did all this, it wasn't as accepted as it is today in society. I grew up very, very religious. Let's also keep this in mind. I went from Catholic to Jehovah's Witness, y'all. That is a big jump. If you are Catholic, you know how strict it is already, and if you are Jehovah's Witness, you know how strict that religion is as well. There's a lot of things that you can't and should not be doing. No, I am no longer Jehovah's Witness or Catholic, but hopefully you can see why I'm like saying it was a big deal to me at the time, because I had those like outside factors kind of like in my head. So I was 15 years old and I had this really big crush on this boy. He was actually my best friend at the moment. We met in a science class, and if he ever watches this video, like he's gonna know what's about him, because I'm like, this is the story. But I had a huge crush on this boy, and he just so happened to be a complete stoner. Like he was like high school buff. Like, you know how there's like those boys that like in high school you're like, oh my gosh, he's so fit and he's so cute, he's so fine, and then like as an adult you look back and you're like, ew, why did I think that was like, oh my gosh, that's a man. Like, but just a little boy. But at the time I was like, that's a man. Like, he's taller than me, he's buff, he works out, he has a job, he has a car, he's a man! So I had this big crush on him, and we ended up getting really close because we sat next to each other in class. And then from then it ended up us like, hey, who the fuck is calling me? Bitch, I swear if this is one of those, you stayed at our resort. Hello?
Thank you for choosing Marriott Hotel.
Bitch, I didn't say it's your resort! I keep getting all these calls, you guys. They keep blocking all these numbers, and they keep calling me talking about, you stayed at our resort and we'd like to give you a free night. No, you don't. No, I didn't. Anyways, back to my man. I had such a huge crush on this boy. I obsessed with him. And I also think because like I was like super religious and I was super prude, I think because he was like kind of like a bad boy, that's why I was so like lusty over him. But one day he invited me to come and smoke with him, and I was like, sorry bro, like I don't do that. We've talked about it before. I don't do that. And he's like, okay, whatever. And then another day he brings up the conversation again, like, hey, come on, like let's just do it. And again I said no. And this went on for a while, you guys. Like we were friends, like we're still like, I guess you could say kind of friends today. We just don't hang out as much. We were pretty close my sophomore and junior year of high school. And then senior year we were kind of like, you know, friends. We kept having like fights and we would stop being friends, but then we would like get back together and then stop being friends, and then it was just a big situation. But me and this boy were super close, and this whole like peer pressure thing went on for a while, and I kept telling him like, stop trying to peer pressure me, stop trying to peer pressure me, like I can't do it. And I also think he might have been just trying to really get me to do it because I didn't want to. Like it was a mission for him. So he kept asking me. We ended up having like a fight over it, stopped being friends for like 2 days, became friends again. Then eventually, like I can't remember the exact timeline, but I do know that he kept bothering me about it for at least like a couple of months, and eventually I was so head over heels for this boy, you guys, like so head over heels. I thought he was so fine, so cute. I loved him for his personality, just everything. Like I was obsessed with this boy. One day I was at Sabrina's house. I don't know if you guys remember her. You do if you're an OG on my channel. And we were just jumping on her trampoline, and he hit me up and he was like, hey, like meet me at the park, let's go and like smoke, come on, let's go. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. But I was talking to Sabrina about it, and I was like, maybe I should go. And she was like, maybe you shouldn't. Sabrina, like, she didn't smoke. She was not down for it. So eventually I was just like, actually, I kind of just want to go see him. So I ended up telling him, I'm not gonna smoke. I'll just come and like hang out with you because I want to hang out with you. Like I said, I had a huge crush on this boy, so I was just like, oh my gosh, I really want to go. Like, I just want to see him. My friend was, or Sabrina was like, I know you just want to go see him. Like, if you don't smoke, just like hang out with him. Like, just don't smoke though, just like hang out. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna smoke. I'm just gonna go and chill, because she knew I had a huge crush on him, obviously. So I decided to go. So I walked over to the park, which was literally like over her, like her wall. So I went over there, and he was like, okay, you don't have to smoke if you don't want to, but like if you did, that'd be really cool. And of course I was like, I don't know. And he's like, okay, well, we're gonna go over here. So they went to like this random area. We had to jump a wall and like go by these like random railroad tracks. If you live in El Mirage, you know what railroad tracks I'm talking about. The ones by Walmart, by Dysart, bitch, those ones. So we're hiding between like the wall and the railroad tracks. And then eventually after him like just talking and like pressuring me, basically, his cousin was there as well, like, just do it, come on, just do it, girl, come on, just do it, like, it'll be so funny, like, come on, just do it. Eventually I did it. And now the reason why I'm like talking about that story is not to be like, oh my gosh, like this is my story of the first time I smoked weed, but the fact that I was so against it, you guys, like when I tell you I was against it, like hardcore against it, like I had my first kiss in 6th grade, but I did not ever like make out with the boy. I never had like a huge like real first kiss. I never held hands with the boy. I mean, maybe for like 2 seconds, but I never really like done any of this stuff. I've never smoked. I've never even considered it. Like, it was disgusting to me. I thought it was disgusting that he did it, but I thought he was so fine and I was so in love with him that I didn't care. But the reason why I'm bringing up this situation and this story is because this is something that I told myself I would never do. And a lot of you can relate, whether it be, I know I'm not gonna sneak out because I know what's gonna happen, or this, whatever the situation is. This was one of those for me that I told myself I'm not going to do it. Also told myself I would wait till marriage, but here we are today. That was one of those things that I told myself, like, I'm not going to like be like everybody else. I'm not gonna like start smoking. I'm not gonna do it. Like, I know it's wrong. My parents put it in my head that it was so wrong. Everyone around me put it that it was so wrong. So like, I really had the idea, and like my school, like they would try to scare us to tell us like how bad it was. So I believed all this stuff. But I didn't get to experience like everybody like getting turned and like the underage drinking. I didn't get to experience the smoking and the drugs and all that. I didn't get to experience that stuff until I did switch to public school. So when I was like shown all this stuff in school and how bad and how gross and how it was going to ruin your life and you won't be successful, I was so terrified and I was so like strong-minded against that stuff. So that's why I'm bringing it up in this video, because it's something that I said I would never do, and because I really liked a boy, I ended up doing it, or I wanted to seem cool to him, I went ahead and did it. We could have got caught by the police, and we could have both gotten, or all three of us put in juvie. We could have all been sent to jail or for prison or whatever. But I was willing to risk the situation. I was willing to do it just because I wanted to do it for a boy. So that is my reason for bringing up that story. I didn't bring it up to be like, oh my gosh, smoking weed is so bad, like, don't smoke weed. I brought it up because it's something that I said I would never do, and I did it because somebody else managed to convince me. Whether somebody's peer pressuring you over a week, over a month, over a year, if you eventually fall for it, you got peer pressured. It doesn't matter, like, it could be the most simplest thing. You could say, I'm never gonna drink milk, and it's not that deep, you know, it's not that deep. But you could say, I'm never gonna drink milk, I'm completely against it, I'm so strong, like, I feel so passionate against this, I'm not gonna do it, and then you do it. Whatever it is, if you know that it's something you don't want to do, you don't have to do it. I could have walked away and said no. I could have completely like blew him off, but because I was so like in the moment and I was like, whatever, I just want to seem cool to him. I want him to like me back. I didn't know if he liked me back, but I had this huge crush on him. So I was like, I got to do whatever I got to do to make him like me because he was a cute boy. A lot of girls in the school liked him. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to like keep up. I need this to be my man. I need to do what it takes. If he wants me to smoke, I got to smoke. If I got to drink, I got to drink. I was trying to keep up with the guys. So hopefully my story and my whole message is like starting to make some sort of sense and you guys are like getting what I'm trying to say. Hopefully nobody's focusing on the fact of me saying like, hey, like I got pressured into smoking weed. Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the fact that I did something that was completely out of my comfort zone. I was not happy about doing it afterwards. After I smoked, and after I smoked the time after that, because again, I was only doing it because I knew he wanted me to, I felt like shit. I did not feel happy about myself. Yeah, I felt proud in the moment, like, oh, ha ha ha, like I did it, like, I did it, but at the end of the day, I was disappointed in myself because I was just like, wow, like that was something I said I would not do and I fell for it. I made it a thing for myself that I was not going to be peer pressured as a teenager because you see all the movies of like girls like, I don't want to sleep with him, and then all the friends are like, just do it, just go sleep with him, come on, just do it, you'll be so popular. And then she goes and does it and she regrets it. It's insane how like I was so willing to do so many of these things as a teenager, and then as I got older, like if anybody were to even tell me what to do now or even like try to pressure me into doing something, like I would literally slap them. It's because I don't know, I'm like now I have such a strong character and I wish I was this like strong-minded and strong-willed in high school, but I wasn't. And a lot of people aren't. Like there are definitely some people that have really strong personalities from a young age, but then there's like the people like me who are like a little more like, yeah, we got a little bit of a strong mind, but like if you really press us, then maybe we might do it. But then there's those people that are kind of like, I don't want to do it, but like if it makes me seem cool, I'm gonna do it anyways. So the whole point of this video is if you know it's something you don't want to do, then don't do it. It's so easy to say no. There's so many situations you could avoid being in and so much trouble you could avoid getting in if you just say no to something. If you're a teenager and you like to party, there's going to be situations where people try to ask you if you want to do drugs or if you want to drink this or drink that. And if you know that it's wrong and you know it's something you don't want to do, there are some people that fuck it, they're like, yeah, I want to do it. If you want to do it, then it's not peer pressure. But like if you don't want to do it, and you're in the situation, you're just kind of like, whatever, I'll do it. Now, I don't know if anybody else has ever noticed this in their life or other people's lives, but once you start doing things that is completely out of your comfort zone and it's something that you know that's not really the best for you to be doing and you're still doing it anyways, I noticed that like for me personally, the way I treated it, and I've noticed a lot of people as well, you start not spiraling down into a bad hole or like a bad life. I'm not saying that, but like you start to think that like, oh, this isn't that serious then. Like I already did this, so like maybe this, it's not that deep to do this, or it's not that serious to do this. I noticed that happens with a lot of people. It happened with me. I have another story that I would love to share with you guys, but this video is already almost 20 minutes long and I didn't want it to get this long in the first place. I think I'm just gonna make it its own story time, its own girl talk, and it's gonna, no, I'm not gonna share it yet. You guys will see. But hopefully this video made sense and hopefully I like got some sort of message through. At the end of the day, if you're not ready to do something, don't do it because you don't want to regret it, and don't live with regrets. Like see things as a lesson at the end of the day, because there's a lot of things that I have done and I definitely regretted it, and then as I got older I was like, you know what, let me not like treat this as such a big deal. Let me not, you know, make it such a big situation when it's not. Now I just view things as lessons and I see past relationships as tests. I see friendships as, you know, tests as well. A lot like sicknesses, whatever it is. At the end of the day, please remember that if you're not comfortable with something, just leave the situation. It's so simple. You may get called a loser. You may get called a pussy or like, oh, she wasn't about it, she's not cool. Who cares? At the end of the day, you are not the kid who got peer pressured. At the end of the day, you're the person that was strong-willed enough. Like, yeah, somebody might make fun of you and be like, oh, ew, like, why didn't they just do it? Yeah, but like you're still gonna look like a strong ass bitch because you held your own, and that's what it's about, holding your own and standing up for yourself. A lot of people don't know how to stand up for themselves for some odd reason. I don't know why. I didn't know how to stand up for myself when I was getting bullied, and I don't understand why, because I have the mood and the mindset now that if somebody were to come up to me and call me ugly, I'm not saying that like, oh my gosh, like I'm not ugly. No, like if anybody were to come up to me and be like, ew, you're ugly, or ew, if you don't do this, you're not cool, or this, like whatever the situation is, I'm literally gonna like laugh. I'm literally gonna laugh and walk away. I'm not even gonna like entertain you. Like if you take this shot or you're not cool, I'm gonna be like, okay, bye. So if you are a fellow Rat Pack member, a Rat Squad team associate, and you're letting people tell you what to do, you're just letting them peer pressure you, you can't be part of this family. Just kidding. You guys, please hold your own. Stand your ground. It's something I did not do as a teenager, and I wish I did. I don't regret not holding my own, because at the end of the day, I went through it and now I know how to, and now nobody can push me around. Did suck falling for peer pressure a lot of times, but it's okay. I'm sure there's people that smoke weed all the time and they have very fulfilling lives. They are busy, they're doing everything they gotta do, they're happy with their life. So I'm not trying to like make this video like bashing weed, so like nobody get that mood or that idea from like what I'm trying to say. I'm just like trying to say like I wasn't ready for it and I wasn't like cool with it, but I only did it because I really like this boy. And a lot of kids these days probably do a lot of stuff because they really like someone or because they want to fit in or they want to look cool, but at the end of the day you're gonna regret it and you don't want to live with regret. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Every time I make these kinds of videos, I say this every time, treat the comment section as a community. Let's treat it as helping each other. If you guys have any questions and you got an answer to it, answer that person's question, because sometimes I can't get to everybody's. So please remember, you are a strong, independent girl or boy, whichever you are. You are strong, you are strong-willed, you are strong-minded. Don't fall for what people have to say. Who cares if this person does it and it makes them cooler, it makes this person look better for doing it? Who cares? At the end of the day, you held your own, and people will remember that, like, oh, she didn't fall for it. Oh, hey, his buds told him to go and like smash that girl because she's kind of drunk, and like, hey, just do it, just do it. And he knows it's wrong, but he still does it anyways. Going to regret that night for a really long time, because he knows that it was not right. Or hey, he decided to go to the store with his friends and his friends dared him to steal something from the store. They weren't stealing anything, but they dared him to steal it, and hey, if you steal this, you'll be cool, you'll fit in with us. And hey, now he got caught and now he's getting arrested and he's going to jail for 6 months. Now, not everybody's situation is that deep and that serious, but you never know. You just gotta avoid putting yourself in those situations. If somebody really likes you, if somebody really cares about you, they're not gonna peer pressure you, they're not gonna force you to do something. With sex, with drugs, whatever it is. If it's something you did not want to do and you're doing it anyways, just don't set yourself up. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be strong-willed, be strong-minded. Don't take these hoes BS for anything. You don't need to. You're that bitch. Don't forget it. Feel free to leave more girl talk topics below, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye!